Hi everyone. Today in this session I'm here with some tips and tricks of calorimetry while you attend board examination. First, we know that the chapter calorimetry is related with heat or heat energy. Heat energy is due to the total internal energy. What is internal energy? Total internal energy. It is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Chapter, it mainly deals with two concepts, specific heat capacity and specific latent heat capacity. I already told you that it's related with heat energy, and heat energy is a sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. So if you see specific heat capacity, it is based on kinetic energy. And specific latent heat capacity is due to potential energy. And if we see much more in deep, we can tell that it is based on temperature change. So kinetic energy is due to the random movement of molecules, and that make a change in temperature. So it's based on temperature change. And potential energy means it's due to the attractive force of molecules or spacing between the molecules. So this potential energy is only based on the intermolecular spacing. So here the temperature is not changing, it happens at constant temperature. So keep these points in your mind. Specific heat capacity is related with kinetic energy. That means there will be a change in temperature. Specific latent heat capacity is based on potential energy, and that is based on intermolecular spacing, or we can tell that it is phase change. It is based on phase change. I will see specific heat capacity particularly. Okay, what is specific heat capacity? It is the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of substance through 1 Kelvin or 1 degree Celsius. Both are equivalent. Okay, if you see the unit of specific heat capacity is joule per kilogram Kelvin. Right? Sometimes for board examination, just consider you got a question like this way. Okay. Copper, the specific heat capacity of copper is equal to 0.4 joule per kilogram Kelvin. What does it mean? Okay. We know that what does it mean? What does it mean? When you get any question related with specific heat capacity, keep in your mind that it is related with the temperature change. Okay. So sometimes for examination, you will get a question like this way. The specific heat capacity of copper is equal to 0.4 joule per gram Kelvin. What does it mean? We know that. What does it mean? What does it mean? Then I'll give you a tip how to write this. Normally, the students when they write the examination, they will make a small mistake. So that small mistake will make to lose a mark. Okay. If we get a question like this way, how can we explain? 1 gram of copper require 0.4 joule heat energy to raise the temperature through 1 Kelvin. Okay. So keep this trick in your mind that if you get a question like this way, split all the three factors, gram, joule and Kelvin. You can make a meaningful sentence in any way. According to your wish, you can make a meaningful sentence, but make it sure that these three factors never should come together. If after writing all the entire sentence, finally if you are writing these joule per gram per Kelvin together, your mark is gone. Okay. So write in any way and make sure that all these three factors are splitted. You can write in different way. Okay, right? No. So copper requires 0.4 joule of heat energy to increase the temperature of 1 gram through 1 Kelvin. Okay. In any such way we can mention, or to increase the temperature through 1 Kelvin, 1 gram of copper requires 0.4 joule. So we can make any meaningful sentence by stating these three factors in a different way. So keep in your mind, split these joule per gram and Kelvin. Okay. We know that this chapter is based on principle of mixtures. Heat energy lost by, who lost heat energy? By a hot body is equal to heat energy gained by a cold body. Right now, heat energy gained by a cold body. It is purely based on the conservation of energy. If you get a question, what is the principle based on this calorimetry? If you write simply like this way, you will not get the mark. There is a condition. In an insulated medium or system, or we can tell that if there is no heat loss to the surroundings, that condition is very, very important to get the mark. Okay. When we come to the applications of specific heat capacity or natural consequence of specific heat capacity, we cannot tell that from where the question will come. For ICSE, there is no prescribed textbook. Only syllabus is given. So, you have to refer more textbook to get more examples. And I will give you a tip when you get application level questions related with the specific heat capacity. Okay. So, by reading the question, we can understand that whether the temperature change is there. If in the question, is it any chance for temperature change is there, that is related with specific heat capacity. Okay. Mostly, if anything is related with the water, we can tell that first point. Mostly, it comes for 2 mark questions. Okay, such kind of question will come for 2 mark question. So, as a first point, you can write it as it is due to the specific heat capacity of water. If it is related with the water, or if it is related with any other material, you can mention it is due to the specific heat capacity. So, there you will get your first mark or first 1 mark. Then depends upon the question how it is asked, you have to write it the reason why it happened. So there you will get the another mark. So read the question properly and understand whether it is related with the change in temperature. If it is related with the change in temperature, without any doubt, you can write it as it's due to the high specific heat capacity. Okay, we are going to see how to score mark in the numerical section if it is related with specific heat capacity. We know that this section is completely is related with the principle of mixtures. Heat energy lost by the hot body is equal to heat energy gained by the cold body. So, heat energy lost is equal to heat energy gained. Okay, I am going to split it like this way. Now, who lost heat energy? The mass will be given, specific capacity will be given, and the initial temperature of the hot body will be given. Okay, so we will write that we required in this side M1 specific capacity and T1. initial temperature. This factor is very much required in this session. Same way, in the other session, we required mass of the cold body. So, cold body. This is hot body. Okay. Here also we require the specific heat capacity, and here also we need the temperature. Okay. So, this side, this is for hot body and this is for cold body. When we mix up, right now we are going to mix it. That is what we use to get the questions. So when we mix up, finally it will come to a temperature that consider it as T. Okay, final temperature for both hot body and cold body will come to a final temperature. Consider it as T. Now we will write the equation. Which equation we are using here? Q is equal to mc delta T. If the problem is related with the change in temperature, we are using the equation heat energy absorbed or lost is equal to mass into specific heat capacity into change in temperature. So this side we will write it as Q1, heat energy lost by the hot body, is equal to M1 C1, then change in temperature. That means high temperature minus lower temperature. Here what is the high temperature? Hot body has high temperature. So here T1 minus T. One side is over. That is equal to, or this side we will write it as Q2. Q2 is equal to mass of the cold body, specific heat capacity of the cold body, then change in temperature. If we compare the temperature of the cold body and the final temperature will be the higher temperature. So, write the final temperature first minus the lower temperature or the initial temperature. So, this will be equal, or we can write it as Q1 is equal to Q2. Okay, this is the way you have to find out the left side and right side. Now, if such kind of question will come for 2 mark in the first session or 2 mark question, if the left side and the right side substitution, not the equation. If your left side substitution like 10 gram, here if you write as an example, if you write it as 10 into 4.2 into 50 minus 5, whatever it is, and right side is equal to 20 into, again it is 4.2 into 5 minus 0. Okay, just consider. If you write the data or substitute the data like this way, if it is a 2 mark question, if both sides is right, then you will get 1 mark. And the other 1 mark is for the final answer. Would you have to find it out? Okay. Then, if it comes for a 3 mark question, left side itself you will get 1 mark, right side you will get 1 mark, and the final answer carries 1 mark. So, see the question. You can easily score actually without doing any calculation. Just you want to identify what to substitute, where to substitute. There itself you can score mark from the calorimetry. And here we know that the unit is joule per kilogram Kelvin, right? Sometimes it is represented in joule per gram Kelvin. So while substituting, make sure that if the mass is given in gram, substitute the specific capacity also in gram. Okay. For an example, for water, the specific capacity in kilogram is 4200 joule per kilogram Kelvin. If the data are given in terms of gram, if the mass is given in terms of gram, instead of this 4200, it's your responsibility to write it as 4.2 joule per gram per Kelvin. Okay. Question, most of the time to confuse you, in the question the data will be given in terms of kilogram. But for actual substitution, we require in gram. So that also you have to keep in your mind before substitution, change the value if it is the entire mass is given in terms of kilogram, as such you can write it. Or else take or convert the value in terms of gram and substitute. Now let's see the specific latent heat capacity. The specific latent heat capacity is purely depends upon potential energy, or we can tell that it is related with the phase change. That you have to keep in your mind. Phase change. What is phase change? Change from one state to another state without increase in temperature. That factor is very, very important as in the case of specific latent heat capacity. Okay. What is the SI unit of this one? It is joule per kilogram. So what is specific latent heat capacity? It is the amount of heat energy absorbed or liberated by unit mass when it changes from one state to another state. Sometimes you will get a question what is mention or explain the meaning of 336 joule per gram. Here also you have to keep this in mind. Split the energy factor and the mass factor. Then you can state it. Don't, in any of the four positions you are not supposed to write joule per gram together. Okay. If we see the consequences of related with the latent specific heat capacity, same way, the board can ask any examples related with any natural consequence. So read the question and understand whether it is related with the phase change. Okay, if it is related with the phase change, you can write it as specific latent heat capacity, high specific latent heat capacity. Okay, that is the first factor. Then see the question particularly and give the explanation for the question. Okay, so in that way you can easily score mark even for the application based questions from the specific latent heat capacity. Now we'll see the problem section. How can we score mark easily in the problem section? If we consider the problem section from specific latent heat capacity, most of the time we have to consider both equations. Q is equal to mc delta T, and the equation related with specific latent heat capacity, Q is equal to L into M. Both equations we require because this is also based on principle of calorimetry. Heat energy loss is equal to heat energy gain. So most of the time you will get the questions related with hot water and ice. When we mix hot water and ice, what is going to happen, like what is the specific latent heat capacity. So any unknown factor will be there based on heat energy loss is equal to heat energy gain. Okay, I already told you that how to find out the specific latent heat capacity related with the heat energy. This equation I already mentioned. Now I am going to mention if any phase change is happening, how to find out the answers or how to solve the questions easily. Okay, just consider that you got a question like 10 gram of ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius. It has to reach up to 100 degrees Celsius water. Okay, by saying this normally we will consider this minus 10 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. But in between two processes happening. Temperature change is happening plus phase change. So better to draw a small figure and understand which position or way we have to use which equation. Okay, so just consider minus 10 degrees Celsius ice to 100 degrees Celsius water. Okay, so just consider this is a position presently ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it has to absorb the energy and it reach 0 degrees Celsius ice. Okay, so here the temperature changes but still the object is at same state, solid state. So here what happens? Only temperature changes there. So What is the equation in this section? The heat energy related with this section is equal to mc delta T. Okay. So here you have to write the specific capacity of ice. So still it is in the solid state. Only temperature change from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. So easily we can write it that the heat energy equation from this section is mc delta T. Now, when the ice attains 0 degrees Celsius, what happens? It has to melt it. Their phase change is happening. So there is no change in the temperature. You can draw it as a straight line. Okay. And after entire ice melted, what happens? It becomes 0 degrees Celsius water. At this stage, we can see that there is no change in the temperature. Left side and the right side, both are at the same temperature. But the state of the material got changed from solid to liquid. It's a phase change. So what is the equation, heat energy equation related with the phase change? Q is equal to M into L. Right? Now what's the question? It has to reach 100 degrees Celsius. So we can draw another line. Just mark it as 100 degrees Celsius water. See this one and this one. Both the object is at same state, at liquid state. Only the temperature changed. So here which equation we have to use? Q is equal to mc delta T. If you want to, if the question comes to find out the entire amount of energy or the total amount of energy, just want to find out the value here. Just consider as Q1, Q2 and Q3. So we can write Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Okay. Now just consider you are getting a question like water at 10 degrees Celsius is mixed with ice at 0 degrees Celsius and finally it reaches the temperature, whatever it is. Okay. So such kind of problem also you will get it. There you can use the equation heat energy lost is equal to heat energy gained. Okay. Heat energy loss that is related with the water and the vessel, copper vessel. There we have to use the equation Q is equal to mc delta T. Directly we can use it. Left side. Right side, if it is related with the ice, we have to consider both. First it has to melt it. So there we will get Q is equal to M into L plus another factor to reach the final temperature. Q is equal to mc delta T. Okay, so if mixing with the water or any other material is there, we have to consider in the right side heat energy lost by the or gained by the cold body. There we have to consider both specific latent heat capacity equation and specific heat capacity equations. So at least if these basic concepts are there in your mind, you can easily score mark. Now we'll see how the mark distribution will be there. Okay. If it comes for 2 mark question, same way, left side and right side together. If the substitution is right, you will get the mark and 1 mark is for the final answer. Okay. Sometimes if it comes for the 2 mark question, 3 mark question, left side carries 1 mark, right side 1 mark and the final answer 1 mark. And sometimes we will get it for even 4 mark question. There, this one carries 1 mark, this substitution carries 1 mark, this substitution carries 1 mark and the last 1 mark is for our result. Okay, this is the way how you can easily score mark in the calorimetry sum section or numerical section. So simply you want to understand or identify the factors, then you have to write it with the proper unit. If the mass is given in terms of gram, write the specific heat capacity also in terms of gram. So these are the tips and tricks to score good marks in IGCSE board papers. Thank you.